Hey there, I wanted to give a quick introduction to a class website that I have. So here's my Google Classroom. So if you've been working with Google Classroom, you might be ready to work with Google Sites, which is in the waffle. I'm not going to click it. This takes you to the back end where you create it. But I just want to kind of give you an overview of what's available and what's possible on a Google Class website. So here's our class website. I started at the bottom, but I'm going to scroll up. I have an embedded Google slide here. I'll talk about that in a minute. And here's kind of like the landing page. Here's my banner. And it's real easy to put in buttons. So I have been, back at the Google Classroom, I have been training my kids to come here to get their link for the Google Meet. But I'm trying to make the Google website, the class website, a real inviting place for them to check in. I started to put a video onto my agenda. This is an old agenda. And they can just click on the button and then get to the Meet that way, right? So that's pretty convenient. This is also a website for parents as well, so they could double check the weekly schedule. And you're going to see another Google slide. It's on presentation mode, so you don't see all the behind the scenes stuff like you would over here. You don't see how you create it. There's a way where you could just present, and it looks really nice. So I'll close that up. It always opens in a new tab. So they can email me. They can get back to Google Classroom if they want to. It's real simple. Anything that you can link, you can make a button. Okay, I wanted to talk to you about just starting to set this up. So when I click on this banner for Eden Nuno, it's going to take me to his Google slide. Now, he and I will both share privileges to that Google slide. So I could add stuff, but he's going to be in charge of all of his student work. So let's go look at it. He hasn't done anything yet. They haven't even seen this part of it. So here's his Google slide. It's in presentation mode again, right? So you can create this kind of fake navigation by making buttons in Google Slides, and they can link to other slides. So here's just a little fake intro that I made for him. And if you want to go look at his language arts work, you just click on the language arts. It's possible to kind of fade out any graphic in Google Slides. So he's going to eventually be putting his assignments in here and then just putting a link to it. Anything on his Google Drive. Trying to figure out if we could do Flipgrid, but there's so many things that you could just link to. So this is just going to take you to the Flipgrid page, but hopefully it will be his actual Flipgrid video. So it takes you to the Flipgrid page, so that works. You can go to mathematics. Don't have anything up yet. This should say social studies right here, and this should be science. Oh, you see, I changed it up here. Unfortunately, I spilled water on my brand new MacBook Pro, so I'm using AppleCare to get that taken care of. So I don't have a graphics program right now. But you could see if this were science, you can just create the links as well. This would be social studies. And then if you ever need to get back home, here you go. Okay, so that's pretty cool to have student work available. Let's go back to the website. This is something new I've done, which is tell a joke. So I created a Google form where they can submit a joke. So let's look at that first. Kids tell a joke. And it's real simple. I collect their first name and it gives me their email. They tell me the first part of the joke and the answer. So I think I need to move this over. Let's take a look at what that. Oh, we'll look at this later. So they have submitted this. I'll close that up. And then I went ahead and I put it into a Google slide. So again, this goes to a presentation mode. Now I'll move this back again. The only downside is you do see this black navigation bar. It does disappear after a minute. So everything is clickable in here. It's in presentation mode. There's a couple buttons. You can go back to our website if you want to, or you read this Why the Chicken Crossed the Road. This is actually going to be my first student's joke by Aiden Quintero. Click for the answer. And because he forgot his chicken wings. Or you don't really go for it. So you can do anything you want here. You can put in any button you want. You could take these buttons out, and everything that I've made is actually shareable. So this would be so easy to grab this Google slide from me, just rename it. You could change it around a bit, but all these, the back button would work, of course. All these buttons would work with a little caveat I won't go into right now. And this you would just change to your website link, right? And you change it when you work on the Google slide itself. So let's take a look at, when you have these Google slides presenting, if you click anywhere on the slide, unfortunately, it happens to advance the slide, and there is no way around that at the present moment. There should be, and there should be eventually. Okay. By the way, all these are going red, orange, yellow, green, blue because I color code everything. I color code my schedule, my agenda, and even the jokes are by the colors. So that works out nicely for the kids as a kind of a reminder. So where are we? So I'm going to close this up. Oh, so I don't want that to happen. I don't want to click and have it advance. So here's where I'm actually working on the jokes. So I only want Monday's jokes to show up. So I'm going to select all of these slides, click on the first one I want to hide, and then shift click on the last one and it selects all of them. So I'm going to go up to slide and I'm going to skip. That will end up hiding them, and you could see clearly that they're hidden. It's only showing two. So automatically saves, right? Once I come back and we're going to tell you a joke, we should only see the red, right? So we don't know yet. Well, let's see. Here's the answer. And now if I click anywhere on the slide, it doesn't advance. They're still there. They could access them here, but that's not that big of a deal. So I just want to show Monday's joke on Monday. Okay, so now let's pretend it's Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I'm going to come here, and I just have one little change to make every day. I'm going to come to these two slides, and I want to unhide them, and I want to hide these two slides. So this should work. However, for whatever reason, Google Slides, it doesn't actually work. What you have to do is take these two slides and just drag them all the way to the bottom, and then by the end of the week will pop up again. So let's take a look. Everything's hidden except my Tuesday slide, which is orange. Okay, it updates automatically. When I come back to, now we're pretending it's Tuesday, what color should we see? Only orange, right? There's Tuesday. Here's the answer. I click anywhere and nothing advances. The Monday slides are still there, like I said, now they're at the bottom. And that's how you do it. So I'm going to close that up. And I'm going to show you how I add to the jokes. So I'm back at my class website. So let's imagine I want the kids. So I want to add some fun stuff, right, to kind of get them to keep coming back to this. And that's why this always gets updated. And there will be an embedded video in here. So every morning the kids will come, watch a little video. You can have like a button for an update on a class pet, anything that kind of catches their eye and catches their attention. So right now I want them to come and take a look at the joke. And if they have a joke to tell, they tell it. So you tell a joke. Like I said, it's a Google form. And they just enter it. So as a teacher, I have editing rights. So I'm going to click on that. On any form that you own, if you click on the editing button, now you're in the question, you're kind of in the building of the form phase, and you can also see the responses. So I just look at the responses. The easiest thing to do is to click on the green. This is always there. This opens up in Sheets. So I made sure to collect the first name because it's easy. Okay, so I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I haven't done Friday yet. So I'm just gonna remember it's Joseph. What do you call banana peels on feet? Slipper. So remember shift clicking gives you more than one option. I'm doing a keyboard shortcut to copy it. So I've copied it. I could close this up. And now I'm back at my joke slide. And this was for Friday, right? Friday's always blue. And so here's my question, but they click there to get the answer. So I'm going to just select that. I'm on a Mac, so Command Shift V, probably should be Control Shift V, will paste in the same font style and everything. So what you call banana peels on feet. I need to get the answer out of there, so I'm just cutting that, Command X. So here's my question. This was brought to you by, I forgot who it was. Oh, was it Joseph? Forget. I'm going to guess it was Joseph. So that's the only thing I have to switch. Here's my answer slide. I have to switch that to Joseph as well. So, and here's his answer, Command Shift V. Okay, I think everything, let me just check everything. So I want to remember unhide these. You can right click. I want to make sure that everything else is hidden. Now this is seems a little bit of a hassle, but remember we would have on the next day we would have put that down to the bottom, put this down to the bottom. So it would have been easy. We would have only had to move 2 to the bottom. So here these are all at the bottom. So now when I go back to my website, I only should see the blue, and it always starts with the first slide. So let's go take a look. We don't need that. So here's our We Tell Them a Joke. What color are we expecting? Blue, right? So here's what you call banana peels on feet. Here's the answer, slippers. Yeah. So reach out to me if you want any of these resources. I'm going to try to figure out a way to share easily all of this stuff. Oh, I did tell you there's a little caveat. If I give you this whole page, you'll be set, except I had to download an MP3 of this, right? Now that MP3 doesn't live on this Google slide. So if I give you the slide, you won't have the MP3. You will actually have to get access to the 4 sounds that I uploaded to my Google Drive, and you'll have to keep them on your Google Drive. But I have it in a folder that's all shareable. So I've made this all, like I want parents to access this, right? They could access it on their phone. But if you don't have permissions set where they could actually view or listen to the audio file, then they won't be able to see it. If you don't have your Google Slides set to private, they won't be able to see it. So there's some stuff to do there. Okay, this was little, not really tutorial, but just kind of an overview of what is possible with Google Sites. All right, see ya.